All right, another story that's kicked along this week has been the fact that in Wellington, those local bodies who are members of local government New Zealand, and membership is not compulsory, indeed Auckland, our largest council, has pulled out. They've been gathering in Wellington at the convention centre with a Māori name in Wellington and talking about local government things. And the government went along, the big government, and Luxon went along and said, stop fritting away your money on vanity projects and things. Things are getting real. Stick to your knitting. And you would have thought by the reaction of the mainstream media and Tory whānau and the like that he was almost lynched, that he was lucky to get out of the local government New Zealand conference in one piece, even though it was being held in what is the South Pacific equivalent of Venice, as Wellington's water pipes just blow with monotonous regularity. But was the mood really that hostile towards what Mr. Luxon had to say? Well, one mayor at least was listening and thought there may have been some merit in his austerity message. That's Wayne Guppy, the mayor of Upper Hutt. He joins us on the line now. Hey, Wayne, firstly, just overall, how has the conference been?
The scene was set on the opening afternoon when the Prime Minister spoke and told the truth. And so that was a topic of conversation for most of yesterday amongst my mayoral colleagues. But certainly, I'm sure it wasn't the beginning that many had wanted.
All right. Look, you say he spoke the truth. The media impression I got was that, no, he didn't. All the mayors said, no, that's not right. He can shut up. What does he know? I've seen some really vicious commentary about it. Was that the general reaction amongst the delegates or the people at the conference? Or are there other people like you who actually thought, no, good message?
No, I mean, there are others there. I mean, we'd be in the minority, but certainly the fact was that the Prime Minister told the truth, didn't tell us anything different that we should have been expecting, because, look, they've been telling us that during the election. They told us that in their first, year that they've been in power. These are the realities, and these are the rules. We want to work with you, but guess what? There's going to be some conditions. There's going to be some rules around this, and the money tree's gone. So if you want to work with us, here's the conditions.
Who was giving out the free money before, Wayne? And how did you get it?
The last 6 years, it was there was definitely a largesse coming out of Wellington for many councils.
Okay, and how did you get hold of that money? Did you promise to be woke? Did you build something? Did you say you were going to go?
Oh no, there were opportunities to add to projects that councils had and etc. But certainly from the point of view of that, the Prime Minister and the government has made it very clear that is not how they operate.
Yeah,
and that's going to change. So if you want to work with us. And I think that was very clear, that some might have missed the message. It was very clear that they wanted to work with local government. Local government was important, but here's the rules, here's the conditions, and that's different to the if you're environment. You may have played them before, but these are our rules now.
Yeah, I hear you.
Change, we'll get on with it.
Wayne, what is the most? If we were to pick an issue across the country that in most councils are focused on or engaged, is it still water, or are there other issues now emerging?
Infrastructure in general, and I think that's clear that's the area that the present government wants to work in, and so it's whether it be roading, whether it be through waters, but infrastructure in general and capacity for increased housing, really important. But with that comes costs and infrastructure, and the way to do that. Work together.
Yeah. Okay. Would it be fair to say that in maybe the last 20 or 30 years, one way that councils have found or have utilised to keep rates increases down has been to defer maintenance on infrastructure and keep pushing out when you were going to fix stuff or review stuff or make sure it was working properly?
Yeah, I think, Sean, that's a fair comment that I think most councils, to various degrees, would have pushed out projects that sometimes think, another year or another 2 years. So that was the environment people operated in, but I think it would be fair to say that most councils across the country have done that at some stage.
Yeah, and those chickens now, we look at Wellington, wasn't it ironic? That big Bears water main in Kent Terrace just as the conference started. Those chickens have come home to roost, haven't they?
Well, every central government politician and every mayor and council that came into the country on Monday morning drove past it.
Yeah, just amazing. Yeah. All right, do you think, despite the wailing and the gnashing of teeth and the negative media coverage about Luxon's speech, that actually the message got through and that councils are going to be more careful with central government's money and their ratepayers' money in future?
Oh, absolutely. And and those that don't, because the one thing the Prime Minister read was the mood of the country. Because if, mayors monitor and councils monitor, guess what the rest of the country's saying after the speech?
Yeah.
Well done, Prime Minister.
Yeah. Hey,
Wayne, he read the country.
What are your rates going up by in Upper Hutt?
Ours are up 19% this year, as opposed to what we've traditionally been. We're still one of the second lowest in the country overall, but we were faced some big issues. We're going through a restructure. We're doing, we've been through that line and now looking at staffing levels, and so there's a.
How much ratepayers' money did you spend resolving the issue of drag queens and libraries?
None.
What do you mean? You didn't take legal advice? Because your library said that they had a big inquiry into health and safety.
In-house. It was done in-house, absolutely. Yep.